This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet in the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos, confusion, love, and belonging. I recently did a broom closet in which I talked about Inside Out. At the time that I'm recording this, I don't know the exact title it's going to be for that video, but I know that this is going to be somewhat similar. It's definitely in the same area, but I wanted to focus in on something that actually came up in a collective insight session that I did for folks. And it's this idea of what changes when I'm healed. What does it look like? What does one feel, sense, see when you're on a healing journey and healing has occurred? And first I want to say is I don't believe that healing is a destination. I do believe healing is a journey, and that it's not that we necessarily just land at healed and then that's it. I mean, I think that one does when that's like ascended master kind of stuff. That's like I believe that's like multiple lives, and like a particular energy has multiple experiences throughout the cosmos, and then we experience that energy here on earth and we put a story to it and we give that story a name: Buddha, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Yemaya, Oshun, Olodumare, all these different names that we've given archetypal energy and large, very powerful source energy. Yeah, those folks, that energy, those beings probably reached a destination of healed. I'm talking about the rest of us, who, are in the journey of these multiple lives, and particularly this life here on earth. The healing journey necessary here on earth for us to remember, for us to come back to an understanding that I am earth, earth is of me, earth is of the cosmos, cosmos is of the earth, therefore we are of the cosmos, right? Like that beautiful circular understanding of being spirit energy in embodied material form here on earth. And in that, the journey for many of us is to heal the impacts of an out of balance, disharmonious, toxic masculine energy that has been given steroids and it's like full force, out of balance corruption and super harmful, pushing us into the brinks and spaces that neither the larger collective, I believe, nor the earth, nor the other planets want us to be in. Years into a very intentional healing journey, doing specific work with shadow parts of me that were generated to protect me at a time that I needed that protection. And then getting to a point now where I can call that shadow part in and be like, I'm not 2 years old anymore. I have different resources. I have different means of taking care of myself, of protecting myself, of creating boundaries and protections, and bringing that energy in. For me, that's healed. Like I can bring that energy in so that it's not that the triggers or the reasons that shadow part will kick in goes away. That's not what healed means. Healed means when those triggers or those things occur that would have, before my healed state, caused me to move in a way that was likely at this point not great for me. Now I can see it and I respond in a different way. I'm not reactive. I'm responsive. I'm not releasing my agency or stepping into victimhood or martyrdom, which is what the system really wants us to do. I am stepping into my power within, my agency, my choice, my free will, and activating that. Now, let's not get this confused with a pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm not saying that every person in the world who's being harmed is simply not choosing to step into their power within. No, there's a collective energy that does exist that makes it really hard, and for some folks damn near impossible, if not utterly impossible, to activate choice, free will, to even see it. If I am struggling with like basic human necessities. What I'm talking about here is like another planet. I want to be really clear with that. Like, I'm speaking from a fairly privileged place of even having the time to contemplate these things, of having the path that my soul is taking right now to be actively understanding what does a healing journey for a human in these times look like. And I think part of my purpose is to do those things, to be of support, to be a light for those to come, those who are starting their healing journey. When I first started, was it was very lonely. From about 25 years old, I really longed for a fairy godmother. I really longed for an elder that would guide me, because my path was that I didn't get that from my parents. Now, some people are going to get that from their parents. So, that's going to be a different journey. Some people are going to get that from their grandparents. That's going to be a different journey. That's not the journey I had. I had a very isolated, singular journey. I had very, very, very few active humans in my life that were supporting me to be authentically myself. I can name one person who saw me. I didn't know it at the time, but now that I am at a point where I'm healed in some aspects of my life, the things that he would say to me when he was mentoring me make sense to me now, because I can see it, because I'm healed. And it's not that anything has changed. My past is my past, but I have changed, right? I have healed. And so be really conscious of how you're defining what the healing journey is going to look like, whether I'm focused on a destination or the journey itself. And I'm not judging. Wherever your focus is where your focus is, because I believe that's your path, right? That's your journey. I'm just here to offer insight, because when I was beginning, and even now, sometimes I'm starting to meet people in my day to day who are also on very similar healing journeys. We're of similar age, similar outlooks, working on our witch wounds, some in very similar ways, some in not similar ways, but it's still a similar archetypal wound. And it's helpful. It's helpful to hear these things, not to convince you that this is your experience. I don't like that. I'm a recovering Christian cult member. So I don't like sheep behavior. I don't like trying to convince someone to be a certain way. I am simply offering fodder for your self-inquiry, for you to think for yourself, for you to feel for yourself, for you to contemplate for yourself, but to have ideas from which to draw from to do that. Because for me, that's what helps my healing journey. Now, other people, it's going to be more movement, it's going to be music, or I don't know, it's going to be all kinds of stuff. But I've mentioned before, Sagittarian, Sun, Virgo moon, Gemini rising. I'm about words and learning. And so it's very much integrated through reading and research and learning all these different ideas and philosophies and religions and ways of being and thought, and mixing them up in a big bowl, shaking it up and pulling something out and seeing, what does it say? What is it telling me? And then me thinking on my own what it means based on my individual path. So I offer that to you too. Take this and think about it from your own eye. And when you're ready, be in conversation with people around you about what that means. And may your healing journey be as you desire it to be. This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet. The energy here stays here. The energy there stays there. I'll sense you later. Return when moved to do so. Same Bruja time, same Bruja channel.